It's great to see you all here tonight. My name is Eric Miller. I am the new music director for the Hopkinton Treblemakers. It's a real pleasure for me to be back in HCA. I grew up in Milford and did a lot of theater here in high school and even a little bit in college. And now I get to be back and wave my hands around and present wonderful choral music for you. So these people behind me are really something special. It's been a wonderful pleasure to work with them. They have worked their behinds off to prepare a lovely program for you tonight. We have some choral music for you and some solos that people from the choir have taken their own time to prepare. I think you're really going to enjoy it. I'm checking my notes. As my choir knows, I have a non-functional memory, so I'm going to check my notes. Let's see. Your program says that there's an intermission. We heard from our musical theater friends at HCA that they're really cool and decided at the last second that we were going to not have one instead. So don't go away when it says intermission. And please silence your cell phones, pagers. If you have a messenger pigeon, please silence that as well as best you can. Maybe leave it home next time. It's not the best thing to bring. Anyways, without further ado, please enjoy the Hopkinton Treblemakers.
Song, Carol of the Bells, was surprisingly not an original American Christmas carol. It was written over 100 years ago in 1916, but by a Ukrainian composer named Mykola Leontonovich. The song tells the tale of a swallow flying into a household to proclaim the plentiful year that the family will have. The song's original title was Shedrik, derived from the Ukrainian word meaning bountiful, which I think might explain why it has since become a favorite and a classic. Please enjoy our rendition of Carol of the Bells.
Oh, it was my fault.
Our next piece is an Acapella Anthem written by Don Bessick and Nancy Price. Don Bessick was a music teacher for over 30 years and met Nancy Price when she was in only 3rd grade. Years later, when Nancy was a senior in college, they started a collaborative career that now includes over 400 compositions for school and church choirs. Now, listen to our angels sing.
Listen to the angels sing. Angels sing. Listen to the angels sing. Hallelujah.
Our next selection, Amen, Tell It on the Mountain, combines...
Oh, sorry. That's okay. I like that piece too.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I will be singing the Christmas Waltz, and the Christmas Waltz was written for Frank Sinatra in 1954 by Sammy Kahn and Jules Stein in response to a request from Frank that he wanted a Christmas song of his own. He already released a version of White Christmas, but Bing Crosby had the big hit in the 40s. Because Frank wanted something different, they came up with a waltz tempo. It became another big classic to be heard again and again, the Christmas Waltz.
O Holy Night was written in 1847 by a French poet named Placide Cappeau, who at the time was not even Christian, and he was commissioned to write a poem in celebration of the church's new organ. Cappeau then approached his good friend and composer, a Jewish man named Adolphe Charles Adams, to put the words to music. 3 weeks later, Cantique de Noël, O Holy Night, premiered at a midnight mass and became a favorite. When church leaders discovered that Cappeau had formally renounced the church to join a socialist movement, and that the song's composer was Jewish, they took it off the playlist. Despite being banned in churches, Cantique de Noël continued to gain popularity in homes around France. The song became a favorite of abolitionists during the American Civil War. In 1855, American writer John Sullivan Dwight discovered the song and was inspired by the powerful lyrics about Christ's victory over the oppression of sin and the brotherhood of men under God. Dwight rejigged the lyrics slightly to read, "Truly he taught us to love one another. His law is love, and his gospel is peace. Chains shall he break, for the slave is our brother, and in his name all oppression shall cease." "O Holy Night" was published in his magazine, Dwight's Journal of Music, and quickly gained popularity with American audiences, especially in the North during the Civil War. So now I'm going to sing. I hope you enjoy it.
Holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born, oh, night divine, oh, night divine. Chains shall he break, for the slave is our brother, and in his name all oppression shall cease. Sweet hymns of joy in grateful chorus raise we, let all within us praise his holy name. Christ is the Lord. Let ever praise we. Noel, Noel.
Our next piece, Amen, Tell It on the Mountain, combines two spirituals, Amen and Tell It on the Mountain, arranged by Mary McDonald. There are many soulful, bluesy notes in the piano, and the accessible, catchy vocals build to an exciting finish.
Our next song, Do You Hear What I Hear, was written by a married couple, Noel Regney, I think it's pronounced Regney, or Regney. He wrote the lyrics. The music was written by Gloria Shane. Noel has an interesting background. He was born in France and he was drafted into the German army during the French occupation, but was in no way a supporter of Hitler. He deserted and secretly became a member of the French underground, working as a double agent. During a mission where he could have been exposed, the French underground pulled him out of action and hid him. Now, fast forward to 1962. This country's knee-deep in the Cuban Missile Crisis. Noel's here in America. That's a whole different story. See me after the show if you want to hear about it. It's pretty interesting. He's a well-known songwriter here now. He was asked to write a Christmas song by some big mucky mug in the biz, and because of his first-hand experience with the horrors of war from World War II, he was inspired to write this song, Do You Hear What I Hear, as a plea for peace. The lyrics said, "The night wind to the little lamb, do you hear what I hear? Do you see what I see? Pray for peace, people everywhere. We're inspired by watching mothers pushing their strollers along the sidewalks of New York City."
Said the night wind to the little
So this is the part in our concert where you get to do a little bit of singing. We're going to hope the children are, let's see, we lost one, two. We're going to hope the children are participating. Yay, here comes the child. The child. Go.
There are children out there. We know there are some, right?
Yeah, there's one over there.
And where?
Over there. Do you see one?
There's one. Okay.
Where's he?
Where's Avery?
She's not here today.
What?
It's okay. Go.
All right. So Rock and Ron is going to start us off.
Please sing.
I'm going to give you a little intro, but Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was written by Johnny Marks. It was kind of a gag because he had a brother-in-law. He used to tell this story to the children on Christmas Eve about this red-nosed reindeer. And back in 1948, Johnny took it and set it to a tune. Didn't think it was going to go anywhere, but it became a big hit. Gene Autry recorded it. It's called Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
And we would like you to sing along with us, because if you do, you get a candy cane.
You know Dasher and Dancer, Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid, Donner and Blitzen. But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you wouldn't say it close. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then how the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history.
What are we going to sing next, Rock and Ron?
Oh, I didn't know we were going to sing it on the right keel. But anyway, we're going to sing Here Comes Santa Claus. Okay? All right. Ready? Oh, you better watch out.
You better not cry, you better not howl, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list and checking it twice. He's gonna find out who's naughty or nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. So be good for goodness sake. Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Well,
Sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake.
Christmas, written by Jerry Herman, is from the 1966 musical Maine. In the show, the song is performed after Maine has lost her fortune in the Wall Street crash of 1929. Not one to be daunted by such circumstances, Maine decides a little Christmas is just what she, her nephew and ward Patrick, and the household staff need to cheer them up. First performed by Angela Lansbury in the original production, the song has become a Christmas classic. It's been recorded by numerous artists, including Percy Faith, Johnny Mathis, and most recently, Idina Menzel.
reminds me of that freshly fallen snow. Not the kind that we had this morning, but that kind that you have when the whole world has to crawl out from under its heavy blanket to witness nature's wonder and beauty. Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening, a beautiful sight. We're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is the new bird. To face unafraid the plans that we made. the job when you're in town. Later on, we'll conspire as we dream by the fire to face unafraid the plans that we made, walking in a winter wonderland. Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is the new bird. Sings our song as we go along, walking in a winter wonderland, walking in a winter wonderland. Sleigh bells ring.
Light One Candle, written by Peter Yarrow of Peter, Paul, and Mary fame, first performed in 1982. It's a song that some of us might know, some of us might not. But Peter Yarrow is a pacifist, and this was his response to the 1983 Lebanon-Israeli war, and he borrowed his theme from the Jewish holiday of Hanukkah, the Festival of Lights. As the story goes, before the birth of Jesus, the Greek Empire aspired to destroy the Jewish people and their way of life. A small band of courageous warriors called the Maccabees fought and miraculously defeated this large army. As the Jewish people prepared for victorious celebration to rededicate the synagogue that was severely damaged, they found only a bit of candle oil, and it was only supposed to last for one day. But another miracle, the oil lasted and the candles burned for 8 days and nights. Yarrow's words echoed our same miraculous wish for today. Light one candle for the sacrifice, freedom, and justice to man. Light one candle for the wisdom to know when the peacemaker's time is at hand.
Light
Our next selection is Believe, a rather new song, started in 2004 in the film The Polar Express. The film tells the story of a young boy who boards a mysterious train bound for the North Pole to visit Santa Claus. It was nominated for a Best Original Song in 2004 by the Academy Awards and was performed at the Academy Awards in 2005 by Josh Groban and Beyonce. We hope you enjoy our rendition.
Snow is softly falling.
for our last song, we are going to top it off with dessert and sing a song called Fruitcake, if I can get my hoop in, written in 1965, and I think you'll like it. We love it. Also, it actually turns out to be a recipe which our own George Ryman, who was Rudolph earlier, I outed him, baked for you. So over on the dessert table, which we invite you to after the concert, you will find fruitcake.
Cinnamon, don't forget the cinnamon.
all need us. We owe them a lot, believe me, we owe them a lot.
We have the house lights? Yeah. House lights.
They do a great job.
Start with Silent Night. I don't know what, start with whatever one you want. Yeah, 3 verses.
Please sing along. You have a copy of this on your seat.
All is bright,
and girls rejoice the word. We're going to get a handle on it.